Well, hello everybody. It's the end of the contest time, but as usual, you have to listen to a little rant first. Before I get to the rant, excuse me, I tell you, there was nothing available. Tom wanted $10 today. He had a couple of flats, I guess you call them, where there were like 25 pandas and sealed in plastic, all in one flat. Anyway, he wanted $9 over spot. So I had some stuff to do. Mark was coming over for lunch, so I figured I'll come home, have some lunch, and then go on the internet and see what's going on. Well, to my surprise, uh, AppMax wanted $10 over spot for pandas, of which are almost like a generic, like an AppMax coin or a Sunshine Mint coin or one of those, because they're making 8 million of them this year. They announced, and that's a good thing too, because bullion, they wouldn't be making 8 million unless they were sure they could sell the 8 million and then some. And the same thing with the US Mint. Many as they can make, they're limited by how much silver is mined in this country. And and taking 16, that Kennecott mine disaster has taken 16% of that off the market. So we could see a greater demand than supply of eagles this year. But that means that there's a lot of bullion being sold. And even if it makes up 50 million ounces or so, it's a nice little chunk. And to me, that's same as industrial, because that stuff is not being put back on the market. It's available, but it's if you or I who hold it, basically we're hoarding it. So this week I announced before, I had to buy a kilo koala, and then I went back and bought 100 ounce, which I don't like to, uh, but it was like it was $1.29 or 39 over spot, and it was the only thing out there that was cheap. 100 ounce bar from the Royal Canadian Mint, which is 0.9999, which I don't really care whether that extra 9 thousandths uh, has any meaning or not. But let me get to the root of the rant. About 15 months ago, 60 Minutes did a special on the fact that the U.S. Congress, as the only people in the world that have the right to insider information. Look at poor Martha Stewart. She was on a jet plane with another CEO, and they just talked about something incidental, and she went to jail for it. So it's a very serious offense, insider trading. But the Congress, for years and years and years, was allowed to do it. That's why most of these congressmen come in relatively poor, and few of them leave that aren't millionaires. Now, besides that, they had the right to IPOs, initial public offerings. Now, this is when some new firm comes out. We'll say like Facebook. Facebook IPO was a disaster, but as a rule, they go right up right away. Well, the Congress has the right to buy in at the initial public offering price. Now, now people, firms, uh, J.P. Morgan, uh, Goldman Sachs, Citigroup, they fight over the right to buy into these IPOs, uh, because there's a lot of money to be made, and there's a lot of money to be made in the first hour or 2 hours of trading on initial public offerings. So 60 Minutes does a report, and the whole world was stunned. I'd never heard of such a thing. And not that I'm the whole world. Now somebody's going to say, Rocky, you think you're the whole world? No, but I'm saying I had never heard that anyone was allowed insider trading. Matter of fact, the CEO of Hard Rock cafes and casinos is an acquaintance of mine, and when I went to his 50th birthday. Uh, we got talking about insider information, and he said he can't even discuss any facts about his company or any other company, because he could lose his job, uh, in which he owns 6% of the stock, so he's worth who knows 100 million or whatever. But it's a very serious offense. So Everybody got up in arms after the 60-minute program that exposed this, and Congress rescinded it, their right to IPOs and to insider trading. Well, what happened last week? They attached an amendment to a bill, and Obama signed it, and they all now again have the right to insider information and to the access to initial public offerings before anybody else does. This is nothing, this Congress is nothing but a bunch of fucking crooks. And any what they do, and you know they're plugged right into a broker. What they do is totally illegal for every other human being on the planet to do, but yet these 435 people have the right to do it, and the Senate had the Senate to that. So we have all these crooks down in Washington legalizing their crookedness. And if that's the case, and you know there's an IPO, and say there's a bill pending before you that would affect uh, uh, broadband with or something that would affect one of these companies that was coming on the market. Well, if you're going to have access to buying into that company, what the hell way do you think you're going to vote? These are a bunch of crooks. And why, hopefully 60 Minutes will come back and point it out again. But that information, the only place, again, I hate to quote Jon Stewart, but it was on Jon Stewart, and it was on several places on the internet. But this is criminal, and it should have been covered by every major station in the country, and every citizen in this country should have been upset and forced these bastards to take this away from, back away from themselves. But when you can pass bills that'll guarantee you'll be a millionaire, of course the temptation is great, and you have the right to pass it and make it legal. It's legal thievery. It would be like you and I having the right at any time any issue in silver came out, and no one else would, but we would, as a little group, our cult maybe, would have the right to go in and buy silver at spot. We'd be able to buy eagles, we'd be able to buy pandas, we'd be able to buy these little opal things, we'd be able to buy MS 69s and MS 70s and first strikes and all that at spot because we passed a law that said we can. So whatever money we have to put in silver, we can buy everything at spot. That would be the same thing, but no one else in the world could. So these are nothing but crooks, and it's amazing that everybody says, oh America, the land of the free, home of the brave, yada yada yada. This is the home of the crooks. The crooks run the country. They will continue to run the country, and there's little or nothing you can do about it because they're the ones that vote on the legislation that allows them to do it. Now that's simply amazing. It's like me and you if we work for somebody, being able to go in and tell them, well, I don't want 20 bucks an hour, I need 40 bucks an hour. And if you don't like it, we'll write it into the laws of the Constitution of or the Declaration of the company, the filing for the company, and just say that whenever employees want a raise, they just say, give me a raise. What the hell? Anyway, it's just criminal, just plain criminal. But let's get back to the cult. Now, here's the numbers. We had uh, Clan of the Clackers got 3 votes, not a lot. Uh, in Silver We Trust, now this is crazy. They got 10, 20, 30, exactly 30 votes. Stack offs for all the silver porn people got 5 votes. So rate me. uh, uh, the ounce pouncers got exactly 10 votes, and It's Our Money, Don't Worry About It got 8 votes. So, in reality, it appears that in Silver We Trust by Beach Bum Social or something like that, uh, won, and he got more votes than all the others combined. So it wasn't anything close, and it wasn't like it was a toss up, and we had to send presents out to everybody. So if that person, and so they put in Silver We Trust, Beach Bum Social, I guess it is, or something like that. If he'd get in touch with me, I'll dip in and find a nice ugly Morgan to send to him, or Peace Dollar, whichever I get my hands on, and that'll be that. So everybody, keep your eye on silver. I don't know which I really have no idea what the play is. I said I bought a 100-ounce bar 2 days ago, and about a week ago or a little less, I bought a kilo, 1 kilo koala, both of which I preached against for a long time, but there was nothing else out there. The only thing out there today that was 99 cents over spot was these little pellets that are industrial pellets, and you can buy them, but who would want them? Because you'd have to sell them to some industry for use, because that's all the use they have, or you'd have to sell them to somebody that was stamping out there was, as a matter of fact, they're the pellets that old Chris Duane was going to solve all his problems with. But they were 99 cents and absolutely useless unless you decided you were going to stamp out these things yourself. And then, of course, anybody would have to have those coins assayed. So I want to thank everybody for the contest, and I wish there's been a lot of, a couple, not a lot I'll say, but there's a couple of Chris Duane defenders out there, and welcome them and their comments. And then there was a couple of other people that found some negativity about our little joke. Now let's understand this. This is a joke. We are not a cult. We're not stupid. We are, are not going to be a cult. And this was an exercise in how to have fun and give away a mortgage.